Good morning, everyone. So, I finished another book this year. I want to talk about illusions. So, this is another book written by Richard Bach. It's called Illusions: The Adventures of a Reluctant Messiah. So, it's Richard Bach is an interesting writer. This is another parable, and it's got kind of parables inside of the parable. Book's a bit longer than Jonathan Livingston Seagull, but is also a very thought-provoking book. It opens up with like a parable. It's interesting. The book is just typeface book, but this parable is like it looks like pictures out of a notebook, like verses of maybe like scripture, like it has numbers next to the paragraphs. Anyway, it's really interesting. It's about I forget what it is, whether it's like a small like creature that lives in rivers or whatever, that they cling on to the rocks. I don't know if it's a creature or like a plant, but they cling onto the rocks, and that's where they spend their whole lives there, and that's all they know. But this one creature decides, I think there's more, and I'm going to let go and see what's downriver, basically. And so he lets go. And it talks about being like banged against rocks and like kind of buffeted that way. But ultimately, he gets caught up in the current, and that stops happening so much. And all of the other creatures that are still on rocks see him going by, and they're like some are like, oh, he's flying, and some are like they're viewing him as like some sort of like something special, like a superhero or a messiah or something. Like he's doing something that no one else can do, and it's amazing, and people are just like, and they're just fascinated by what he's able to do, when in fact all he did was let go of the rock. And that little story, I think people should read that story at the very least if they're not going to read this whole book, because that is thought-provoking and really paints a picture for me of how how we perceive our limitations shapes our perceptions of those around us, if that makes sense. So, like, if you're a magician and you know a lot of cool card tricks or stage magic or whatever, you go in the world and do that, and people are like, that's amazing, how do you do that? And to you, it's just a plain normal thing. It's like your job in your life. It's something you like and you care about, but there's not mystery involved in it. It's not, you're not some sort of special person because you practiced a skill. But outsiders, you do look like that. And there's a lot of different talents that different people have, whether that's playing the piano really well, or magic, or just any skill that you do with any amount of competence. There's going to be people around you that view you as some sort of like there's something really special about you, when the fact is you just tried something and put time into it, right? And I think that's really interesting, and really, like, I think it opens up my view of my ability, if that makes sense. Like if I see someone and I'm like, wow, that's amazing that they do that or can do that, like that's very aspirational or whatever, it's something that I can achieve if I want to. Like it's just a choice, right? Um, and Illusions, the book, kind of builds on this idea through the rest of the book, which is about a Messiah. The premise being that there's been a lot of Messiahs, not just like Jesus Christ. And this particular Messiah that the book is about, he was like, you know what? Doing this Messiah thing, it doesn't bring me joy. I don't enjoy being Messiah. I just want to live my life. I'm not happy. And so that's what he does. But the main protagonist of the book is Richard. And Richard meets this Messiah and starts learning from him. And I think there's a lot to take away from this book. And it's one of those where it is like a parable. You can take what you want from the lessons or learn the lessons that you want out of the book. And some of the lessons really will apply a bit differently for different people. I enjoyed the book. It's pretty short. Again, it's probably double the length of Jonathan Livingston Seagull, but that still doesn't make it a novel. Yeah, I really enjoy these books that make me think and contemplate, and like stick with me after you finish reading them. So it was a really fun book. I'm reading another Richard Bach book right now, and this third one is the second Illusions book. He didn't think it was going to write a sequel to Illusions. I'll talk about that when I'm ready to talk through that book. Anyway, I think Illusions is worth a read. It's another one that I read in the past, I think as a teenager, and enjoyed. And I think it's more impactful now that I'm older and have more world experience. So, yeah, if you haven't read a book like Jonathan Livingston Seagull or Illusions, you should see how it sits with you. And yeah, thoroughly enjoying it, and I like the thought exercises that it's giving me. So check it out. See ya.